all are doing good. Welcome to yet another session of iTalk. Let's figure out how this iTalk is different from the previous one. I am Pratik. I'll be the host for today's session. As you all know us, we, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Cell, NIT Raipur, are the team of most ingenious students and professors who don't just engineer but add value to the things. We work hard to develop the innovation instinct in every student and touch as many as live with it. Our team aims to instill the essence of revolution and entrepreneurship among the students, reassure and assist innovation through direction, mentorship, and support. We provide an idea friendly environment and take their ideas to the most profitable stage by making most out of it. We welcome you to the Beginning Solution Oriented, a guide to the entrepreneurial mindset with Shivam Singh sir, the founder and CEO of Space Nova, discoverer of 44 asteroids, Guinness World Record holder, and he is still a final year student at Delhi University. Well, I am too awful as you guys, so let's start from the beginning, where and how this began from. Please, sir.
Okay, so thank you so much, Pradeep, for this wonderful introduction, and Ashwani for inviting me to this great platform. Now, guys, hey there. My name is Shivam Kumar Singh. I'm founder and CEO of Space Nova, educational innovator, and an explorer by heart. Now, before we begin this session, there is a small activity which I want you guys to do with me. Think of three most important qualities which you guys want your best version to possess. It could be anything. For example, for me, it is being solution oriented, being humble, and being inspirational. Now, with this information, I'm going to perform a ritual right now, and you guys have to do the same. So, now what you need to do right now is just visualize an imaginary portrait of yourself standing in front of you. Try to look into the eyes of that same person and then try to look at the image of yourself in the eyes of your visual self. And here we go. Whatever your qualities are, just replace with what I'm going to speak. Say, my name is Shivam Singh, and I am the most solution oriented person ever born on this planet. I am the most humble guy ever born on this planet, and I am the most inspirational person ever born in this cosmos. And I know I can, I will, and I must do it. Now, guys, you might be thinking, what did I just do? And why did I perform this ritual? And why am I trying to teach you this stuff? Is it some philosophical or is it, just some sort of attention seeking drama or something like that? But no, guys, it's not that. It's more of like self talking. So whenever you talk to yourself, it is almost similar to programming your brain. And this is not some philosophy which I'm telling you. It is studied scientifically and properly. And even one of the great person, Jim Quick, who is a teacher of mnemonics and stuff, has been preaching this for a long time. So when you self-talk and try to say some words and some lines very strongly, and you believe in that, you eventually tend to achieve those qualities. So whatever I just said, that those rituals are something which you guys can do on daily basis or whenever you need it. So we'll be going more into that and trying to learn and everything about what being solution oriented means and how it affects us as an entrepreneur. But before that, let me talk to you guys about my journey. So my journey is not quite that much interesting. It might be boring for some of you, but let me cover some of the points because my journey it has more drama than what a movie has. So starting from that, when I was in ninth standard, I was working on a device which can convert sound to electricity. But due to lack of proper mindset, guidance, and resources at that time, I couldn't really scale it up and create an impact. Where by the time I came to college in my first year, there was my friends. One of them was Ashutosh, and he helped me in pursuing IoT and MD systems. With him, I started my journey in this world of coding, of Internet of Things, and trying to explore the embedded systems. And following that, We participated in a competition. It was an IoT Challenge 2019 conducted by I3 India and IIT Bombay. And eventually, we won third prize in that same. And that opportunity lead me to being a research intern in the same company and trying being an expert, being a technical instructor to teach various engineering and school students about IoT and embedded systems. And that's where my teaching journey began. That's where I started understanding the conditions of various engineers across India. And while most of the first year students were busy finding their girlfriends, I was on an India tour. Yeah, so that's how my journey began. It might not be so interesting and crispy for most of you guys, but it was a tour and a whole roller coaster ride for me. And not just that, by the time I approached the ending months of my first year, I was a systems and propulsion engineer at space technology and aeronautical rocketry. I was leading various startups as a project head in my e-cell. I was also founder and president of VIOM, the then Astro Club of DDUC, currently renamed as Spaceonova DDUC chapter. So now let me talk about how my space journey began. So basically, at the end of the first year, in our college, we do not even have a telescope to actually observe various celestial objects and bodies. And that's a pretty basic thing which any college I feel must possess to actually induce the curiosity to actually, encourage students and inspire them in the world of space sciences. And at that time, we had only two options, either to sit or cry and blame our institution or do something about it. And we chose the latter. And hence, we began this club. We started this club in our college. And during the whole journey, during the whole 1 year journey of leading this club, I went through various experiences and gained a lot of knowledge. And then I realized space is a field, which actually combines my fundamental interests. I'm a person who is very much interested in academics and research, and also I'm very much interested in entrepreneurship. And space was a field where both of those stuff could be combined, and hence my passion ignited. And the moment that did, I wanted to create a platform, not just for my college students, but for this whole nation and also for other developing nations out of India. Right. So developed an interest that the platform which I wanted to create should be in a manner that no matter who you are, what you do, you should be able to pursue careers in the field of space sciences. And hence, our vision of Space Nova is that we want to enable literally anyone to be a space technologist. So if you have the willpower and if you have the determination, we should be able to help you in taking your very first step in pursuing careers in the field of space sciences. And it's not just about astronomy or astrophysics, but the aerospace engineering, astrobiology, planetary sciences, and so on. The field is very vast, right? So with that, guys, cutting short to all my other events and other achievements, here I am sitting in front of you, delivering a lecture on being solution oriented, a guide to the entrepreneurial mindset. So let us talk about the same. Now, what I will do is just present my screen. So give me a second for that. Till then, guys, just try to perform the ritual, which I just did, few minutes back. And here is my screen for you all. So I hope everyone is able to see my screen. Pratik, can you just confirm the same?
Yes, sir, your screen is visible.
Cool enough, cool enough. So, guys, our today's topic is being solution oriented, a guide to entrepreneurial mindset. Now, the next question which comes is, what do we mean by being solution oriented, and why do we need it? Well, guys, being solution oriented helps us in generating ideas for any problem which we come across. So वो कहते हैं ना एक idea जो बदल दे आपकी दुनिया, and that's why being solution oriented is important. But let us consider one more question while going deep into this topic, that who is an entrepreneur? Now, many people thinks that an entrepreneur is a person who's a great businessman. He or she owns his his own company or something like that. But no, guys, anyone who is choosing to make a difference in the world by making their best possible contribution is an entrepreneur. So no matter whether you are a CEO or a co-founder, whether you are just a school student, whether you're just a daily wager working for some, some nuances, some running some errands and stuff, you can be an entrepreneur, and you are an entrepreneur if you're choosing to make a difference in this world, if you're choosing to create an impact and add value to this society. So irrespective of what your designation is, if you're doing this, you are an entrepreneur. And hence this topic, that being solution oriented, a guide to an entrepreneurial mindset, right? So we are going to focus much more on this mindset, and in later stage we are also going to cover that how can you start your own startup. So let us resume to this topic, that being solution oriented enables you to do what you want to do whenever you want to do. So let us try to understand this line again. So basically, some of you might be thinking that, okay, being solution oriented generates idea helps us in getting the solution to the various problems, but what is the impact which it creates? So guys, this is the thing. It enables us, try to understand the sentence again, it enables us to do whatever we want to do whenever we want to. And guys, for me, that is success. Other than your wealth, other than your money, and etc etc, through which you define success, but if you are able to do whatever you want to do and whenever you want to do, which is basically trying to find the expression of your life, trying to express yourself the way you want to do, is success for me. And being solution oriented provides you the same. And let us understand the next question, which is then how to be solution oriented, how to become one, right? So, guys, here are the some simple points which I have jotted down for you. The first thing is change the way you perceive the world, become more objective oriented, have a learning mindset. Consider challenges as an opportunity to learn. Like whenever a challenge is thrown at you, don't worry about, oh bhai ye mere se kaise hoga, this is very weird, I don't know how to do this. Nah. Instead, just consider them as an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to grow. And suppose if you don't have challenges, if you don't have opportunity, that means you are sitting right now in your comfort zone. Come out of it. Try to do something much better than that. And definitely you will face a lot of challenges. And guys, trust me, you're going to enjoy that. And third, and the most important point, yeah, thanks to the Art of Living courses through which I learned this, that remember, breath is the thread of the kite. That is your mind. What do we really mean by that? I know some of you might be thinking I'm referring to some sort of philosophy. No, guys, not again. It is more of like being in a mindful state, being in a meditative state, or basically just understanding your breath pattern. So, for example, guys, whenever you were angry or suppose you were very much angry over your friend, you would have observed the way you breathe in your different emotional state, your breathing patterns are different. And if you know how to control them, if you know how, in which manner to breathe, you can actually control your mind and hence your emotional state. And when you learn that, trust me guys, you would be able to tap into your state where you can take more right decisions. You can become a person who is more solution oriented. So, suppose a challenge is thrown at me and it is something which is totally new for me. A normal person would, what that person would do is that person would start self criticizing themselves, or that person would start thinking about the inabilities or the various circumstances through which he or she cannot do that. They will start focusing on the excuses. Whereas a person who understands how breath works, how this mind works, that he or she would just take a deep breath, calm his or her mind, and then think of the various ways through which they can solve this problem. They will start thinking and pondering over various ideas, pondering over various ways to solve that problem and grow out of it. And instead of focusing just on that problem, they will start focusing on the end result, that when they conquer this problem, when they conquer this challenge, what type of person they will become. They will focus on their best version. And guys, remember that no problem is bigger than you. No matter what problem is thrown at you, how dangerous it might be, or how new it might be, you can solve that. That's why you're facing it. It is not a philosophy, guys. Again, many people think I'm just, or anyone who is preaching such sort of stuff. It's a philosophy. But guys, I'm telling this from my experiences, and not only from my experiences. There are other leaders, other great leaders out there who write this stuff from their experiences. And it's more about being a Buddha and a badass. Being a person who is in a meditative state, who can calm their mind, who can control their emotions and use them as a tool. And at the same time, acting like a warrior, being a badass, and just, swaying their way through the various challenges. And hence, we come to the last point and the most important point, that is be ferocious, be bold. And now, what does that mean actually? Well, sometimes it does happen that no matter how mature we are, we still tend to get in the state of anxiety, and we tend to get depressed sometimes, right? And we feel sad. In such cases, have positive optimism. Know that no matter how your current situation is, good situation, good state will definitely follow. And be ferocious. Instead of being sad, just, focus on the person, the version which will come out of it after facing those challenges. Be that ferocious, be like a person who would be like, hashtag hum four dalenge, take it. So be that person, be bold, and even if you're sad, just try to laugh, and trust me guys, you will feel great. Take it, just have a smile on your face, and just hashtag four dalenge ke sath nikal lo. Take it, it's time for change. Now, moving forward, let me tell you guys a secret that Terence McKenna, a great personality who exists in this world, has shared through many ways, and I'm going to forward the same with you guys as it is. Now, I will just read it out and try to focus on each and every word of it. The first thing which that man says is that nature loves courage. You make the commitment, and the nature will respond by removing impossible obstacles. Again, guys, that nature loves courage. You make the commitment, and the nature will respond to that commitment by removing impossible obstacles. Dream the impossible dream, and the world will not grind you under, it will lift you up. This is the trick. Now, before moving on to the second part of this quote, let me try to just unravel this mystery and tell you guys that what exactly it means. So basically, Terence McKenna here is just trying to convey you guys that no matter how and a task might seem as very much impossible, just make that commitment. Once you make that commitment, once you have that courage, nature will remove the impossible task for you. It will start supporting you. Just like in one of the movies, in one of our Bollywood movies, they said कि if you love someone, पूरी कायनात लग जाती है आपको उनसे मिलाने के लिए, right? In the same manner, if you make a commitment, if you have that courage, the पूरी कायनात लग जाएगी goal से मिलाने के लिए, right? So have that courage. And guys, just like that, when we declared our Vision 2025 at Space Nova, that we have a dream, a vision that in 2025, we want that each and every child of this nation should be able to pursue careers in the field of space sciences, irrespective of their background. This was a huge commitment which our team made. And the moment we did, trust me, guys, you won't believe it. For we started getting various calls and calls and some approaches from organizations which we earlier thought was impossible to approach. We got various collaboration opportunities from scientists of ISRO, from NASA, from various other societies. And it's not that it happened in a day, but with patience, it came to us. And it was magical for us. Like we did not even try to approach them. And just because of our work, just because the words which were spreading about Space Nova out there, they came to know about us, and then they approached us that if we need any help, they would be ready to. And that's how nature works, guys. Now, moving to the second part of the quote, that is, this is what all the teachers and philosophers who really counted, who really touched the alchemical gold, this is what they understood. This is the shamanic dance in the waterfall. This is how magic is done by hurling yourself into the abyss and discovering it's a feather bed. So, guys, in the last part of the quote, Terence McKenna, he just got a little poetry, and he just wanted to say that all the great leaders, all the great philosophers and teachers out there who ever existed, this was the secret which they understood. This was the secret because of which they were able to achieve so-called impossible stuff. And this is how magic works, guys. And that's what Terence McKenna wants to convey. That just fall onto that abyss, fall into that well, and once you make that commitment, and when you fall into that abyss, you will realize that it wasn't that, but it's just a feather bed, and it's so easy to achieve so-called impossible tasks, right? So that's what Terence McKenna wanted to convey, and that is the secret which I wanted to share with you guys through him, through his words. Now, moving forward, let us try to understand how to start up. Now, I think this is the most important part, which all of you guys were waiting for. That okay, you told us about how to be solution oriented and what are the various ways through which we can become solution oriented. But how actually to implement them? How actually to start our own startup? How to do it from very scratch? And guys, I'm going to give you guys some tips, some proper practical stuff through which you guys can start your own startup without even going through any incubation and investing a lot of money. If you have just 1000 or 2000 rupees which you can borrow from your parents or earn from somewhere, this method is very much suitable. And sometimes you might not even need that 1000 rupees. That thousand also I just said because if you want to build a website. Otherwise, uh, जुगाड़ लगा सकते हो. ठीक है. So moving forward, the first step is find a mentor. So, irrespective of how experienced you are, or whether you are just entering first time in the business world, it is very important to find a mentor who selflessly would love to be part of your journey, who would believe in your vision, and would you know whenever you face a challenge which could be deadly for your organization, would definitely love to help you. So basically, a mentor is not someone who would just spoon feed you every time, but a mentor is someone who would let you run with as much speed as much you want to. You will fall, you will stand up, you will run again, but that person won't let you die. That person won't let you fall in a manner that you cannot stand up again, right? So that is the role which a mentor plays. So find a right mentor. That is a very first step which you guys should do. And now you might ask, how to do that? How to find a mentor? Well, guys, LinkedIn is a great platform for building your network. Go and try to connect with various people, try to establish a personal relationship with them. And if you're lucky enough, if you find a person who believes in your vision, that person will definitely love to help you. And guys, trust me, most of our mentors right now are are people whom we found through LinkedIn, right? So LinkedIn is a great place to increase your network. And guys, do remember that your network is your net worth. So that is very important. More than your financial knowledge or anything, your network should be very much strong. Moving forward is the canvas business model. So basically, what we guys tend to do, or what mistake any person who is starting up they do, is they have a vision and they start executing that stuff without even having a proper plan. So guys, it's not the way that you should approach any idea or a solution or an innovative stuff which you guys have. You need to build a proper business model, and here is an example how you can do. So basically, this is like a canvas chart, right? And you have several stuff written here. So let me explain each and everything one by one with an example to you. So suppose your business is a lemonade stand. So, what would be your value proposition? Your value proposition would be a cool, tasty lemonade on the go. Basically, you are going to, serve lemonade to whoever who is coming at your booth, whoever who is coming at your parlor, right? So that is the service, that is the value which you want to, provide to your customers. So that is the cold, tasty lemonade. If you're having a lemonade stand, and suppose this is not it. Suppose if you're a person who also wants to add value or give some life lessons, you can add some other stuff also. Maybe with cold tasty lemonade, you would also share a thought of the day with each and a lemonade which you're selling. So like that, you can write several value proposition irrespective of how small or big your business is. So write your value propositions. After writing the value proposition, try to understand who are the customer segments, who are your customers. So basically, if I'm a person who's trying to sell a lemonade uh, through a booth, so I would try to sell it to people who are park visitors. Why so? Because park is a place where people are going to come every time, day and night. They are going to visit park for various reasons. So park would be an ideal place for me. So that is my customer segment, park visitors. And what would be the medium through which I would love to serve this cold, tasty lemonade to them? That would be a booth sale, basically a stand sort of stuff through which where you can make your lemonade and keep in front of the people to lure them, to show them how tasty it is, and the moment they see it and they feel ki it is something which they need or they want, they would definitely come to that. So you need to decide your channel. And suppose if you are, next generation lemonade stand business, you might also want to build your own website. So your website could also be another channel. So depending upon what your idea is, you need to write the channels through which you want to serve your value to your customers. Now, the next part is what sort of relationship you want to build with your customers. So, for a lemonade stand person, that person would love to build a personal relationship. So, whenever a person comes and buys a lemonade through my stand, I will try to know that person's background. I will try to talk to that person. I will try to understand their, various, reasons for being happy or being sad. So, that sort of personal relationship would help me in creating a business so that no matter if another person is coming and building a lemonade stand in front of me tomorrow, that person will still come to me. And the reason is because I have a personal connection with my customer. So, what sort of relationship you want to build with your customer? You need to write here, right? The next thing which you need to think of is what are your key activities? What are the key activities of your business? What would you do on your day-to-day basis? So your day-to-day activities might include, if you're a lemonade stand business, that making the lemonade, marketing for it, and selling them. That is your key activities. It's as simple as that. Now, what are the key resources to make those lemonade? And what are the resources which I need? I need ingredients to make the lemonade. I need people to sell my lemonade at various booths. So I need salespeople. I need a proper stand, that infrastructure. So I need that booth. So these are my key resources. Now, the next part which you might want to focus upon, not might, you will have to focus upon is who are your key partners. So basically, to establish a booth near a park, you will have to get permission from municipalities, right? So your key partners would be municipalities. If you're trying to establish a booth in a college, then your key partner would be that college. Or if you're trying to establish it in a residential area, then your key partner would be those society residents, right? So those would be your key partners. Now, the next thing which you need to think about is what are the cost structure? Basically, where and on what stuff you need to invest upon, or your money will be expended. So those would be flyers for promotional stuff, the equipments which you need to buy, and the salaries of the commission which you will give to salespeople at your booth. So those are the cost structure. And the last and the most important stuff is how will you actually generate revenue? Because guys, if you're not earning any money, if you're not generating revenue through your business, once the money is exhausted, your business will die. So don't be like, oh, money is something which I don't want. I'm a person who is always focusing on serving the value, but I don't need money to do that. No, guys, you will need money to do that either through funding or through investment or through your own part-time job. But you need money to serve value, to run your business. It's like an oxygen for your business. So you need to focus on that also. So basically, for a lemonade stand, the revenue streams would be the sales of those lemonade, and another would be tips which he or she might get due to the personal relationship which that person has established with the customer. So the lemonade sales and the tips are the two revenue streams for that lemonade stand business. So, guys, this was a basic example of how to build your cannabis business model. And I took the example of the lemonade stand because it is very easy to understand. It is, in India, like lemonade stand is very much famous in US and stuff. But in India, you would have seen various people selling various sort of juices, or in summer that ganne ka juice and stuff. So you could relate to this sort of business model much better. And the same canvas business model can be applied to any type of business, no matter from which field you are, right? So this is your second step. After finding a mentor, you need to build a canvas business model and then proceed on to one of the most important stuff, which is building your minimum viable product. Now, this is where most of the startups miss out. And what exactly is the minimum viable product? So guys, as we are a space company, we will take an example of we will take example of a rocket company that to explain you guys that what exactly is an MVP, right? So in one line, you can just understand that an MVP focuses on the core function rather than perfection. Now there are a lot of people who are perfectionists. Now though being a perfectionist is good, but at the same time, some to practice perfection in each and everything might lead to delay, right? So you need to find a product which you can create at an early stage of your startup itself to sell, so that you can know your customers better and accordingly build upon your product and then try to reach that perfection instead of trying to make the final product from the very first go itself. So for example, here we have two companies. Suppose this is company A and this is company B, and both are rocket companies who are trying to make rocket so that they can take the payloads and various cubesats and cansats, and they can put them in an orbit around the earth. That is their business model. So they will earn from satellite companies and other companies who want to send their satellites and payloads to space, right? Now this second company, they understand MVP. They know what a minimum viable product is, and they are going to take an MVP approach. The first company doesn't understand that. They are going to take the traditional approach. So let us try to understand the difference between them. So the first company who has a traditional approach, what they would do is they would first build the boosters for the rocket, then the nose cone and etc. Then they might build the body. Then they might work on the propulsion system, and within 4 years their two-stage rocket would be ready to do serve the various satellite companies and other organizations who want to send their payloads to space. But the problem here is, in this 4 years, they took 4 years to build this product, and in this 4 years they don't even have an idea about what are the needs of their customers, what are the practical problems which they are going to face. They don't have a customer base to sell their product. They were just focusing on technical stuff, which most of the technical guys who build a start a startup do a mistake upon, right? Whereas the second company, what they did is they need to send a payload. So suppose if they need to send a payload to space, suppose it is a camera for observing Earth, right? So they might in the first year they might build a hot air balloon or a weather balloon to send those equipments to space. And in the second year, they might build a plane. In the third year, they might build a first one stage rocket. And in the fourth year, they might build a two-stage rocket. Now, the advantage of this MVP approach is then in the first year, while serving the various customer audience through their hot air balloon, they would understand the practical problems which their rocket might face in future. They would have a customer base by the time they build their two-stage rockets. And also, you know they would be getting some revenue all along the years. All along these 4 years they will be getting some revenues, whereas these guys, they would be able to generate some revenue only in the fourth year. But these guys would be able to generate some revenue from the very first year itself and could bootstrap instead of taking an investment. So those of you guys who don't know what is bootstrap, it just means that instead of trying to get an investor on board, you just invest the same money which you have earned again in the company, and then again increase its return of investment, and the process goes on. That's how bootstrapping works. So this is an MVP approach, guys, and this is very important, right? So this was about MVP and Avista. And with this, guys, we have covered like how to be solution oriented. We have covered how you can start your startup from scratch, which I will just summarize. First step is find your mentor, build a canvas business model, and take an MVP approach. Make the first product which you can in your first year itself, even if it is not perfect, but serving the purpose, right? So that's what an MVP does. as I already mentioned, it focuses on the core function rather than perfection. And with this, guys, thank you so much. I end my session. For any queries and concerns related to space sciences, reach us out at www.spacenova.com and stay tuned to us as we create a space ecosystem where limit tends to infinity. So now we are open for any queries and concerns which you guys have regarding whatever things which I told you today. Thank you so much, guys.
So, there are a few questions from our students. First
Mhm.
question is, first question is, uh, sir, how you chose your team when you started your startup?
Okay, that's a great question. So basically, guys, I did not choose my friends. So this is a mistake which many people do. They try to take on board their friends itself when they're starting up. And trust me, guys, if your friends are not really serious about your vision and stuff, they're not going to value your idea a lot. They will just believe in the hype which you're creating. They will join you, but they might leave once you're facing various problems. So while starting up, it is important that first you do all your stuff on your own, even if it is graphic designing, even if it is marketing and promotions. Do stuff on your own so that you know the nuances and stuff. Then take a single person on board with you so that that person can share work with you or even become a co-founder in later stage. And when you have a team of two-person, start providing interns, start posting about internship opportunities about your company, so you will start getting people from all across India who would believe in your vision. Now after providing internship to those students, start selecting students from those internships. Start select after, suppose they complete 1 month or 2 month internships, start selecting those potential students from those interns and then take them into their core in your core team instead of directly admitting them into the core team and giving them some C level positions. That would be a blunder. Okay, go through this internship wala method, and that's exactly what we did.
Yes, sir. There is another question from Ashwini. So she asked that, so is just a mindset enough for the startup?
Yes, guys, mindset is the first thing which you need to correct rather than anything else. So, if you don't have a proper mindset, if you don't have a proper thought process how to channelize your energy and how to go through when you're facing any problem or struggle, you won't be able to survive. And guys, in the startup industry, we don't say that yeah we are successful or yeah we have won. We say we survived because that's what you guys do, right? In these whole years, whatever challenges which you might face, it might happen that whatever initial team which you had, they might just leave you for various financial reasons or for various other stuff. So if you don't have a proper solution oriented mindset and that motivation, self motivation, to just continuously persevere for your work in a manner that you can also take rest in between and not burn out, you won't be able to survive. So that mindset is very much important. And after the mindset and everything, the next important stuff which is very much important is the method which you are following. So there is a thought which one of my maths teacher told me during my 12th standard. He said that, Shivam, never doubt your intelligence, always check the flaw in your method, right? So once you have a proper mindset, once you would stop doubting your intelligence, once you are a solution oriented person, then you can start focusing on the methodology which you're following to build your startup. And that's what I just told you guys about when we were talking about MVP approach and the canvas business model and etc.
Yes, sir. There's another question, and it is, what do you think about SpaceX? Is space exploration and so your startup gonna get boom in coming years as we land on Mars?
Okay, so guys, if we talk about the SpaceX, though, the best thing about the SpaceX is that they are pioneers for many stuff. Irrespective of what sort of problems they face, they take calculated risk. They have a good team, and they are giving the humanity a hope. So Elon Musk, he is not only working for just just because space is something cool, but he is actually working for Earth and the humanity itself. It's not that many people tend to think that he is against Earth, he wants to settle in Mars. No, guys. His other startups, if you see, they are actually something which is helping people who are residing at Earth right now. And space exploration has three fundamental benefits. The first one is innovation. The second is culture and inspiration, and third is that you get new means to address global challenges. Right. So whatever space technology or space exploration stuff which we work upon, it can be used in your daily lives also. For example, you could take satellites are being used for observing Earth, for various agricultural stuff, for providing internet in remote areas, and that's what Starlink is even trying to do, or the Airtel who acquired OneWeb right now, right? So that is something kind of a part which you guys need to focus upon. And coming about the booming part, so guys, yep. And currently, if you talk the scenario of India, you will find three types of startups in India. One, who are focusing on building mid-sized launch vehicles, the rockets. Another, who are trying to build satellites for Earth observation, and another, who are focusing on providing a platform so that you can gain the necessary expertise to actually do these stuff and close those industry gap, the space education startups. And that's what Space Innova is currently doing.
Yes, sir. So from the chat box, I can see that students are very curious about your discovery of asteroids, and they want to know about your world records too. So please guide us there.
Okay, so guys, coming to the asteroids, so I would first mention that these are preliminary discoveries of asteroids, basically 44 preliminary discoveries of asteroids. And let me just tell you about the program a little bit. So, guys, there are various citizen scientist programs which NASA provides. And searching for asteroids and discovering your own asteroids are one of them. And it is, managed and supported by International Astronomical Search Collaboration. So, if you guys are more interested in this, there's a good news for you all that Space Nova just very soon in this April itself is going to conduct this campaign. So if you guys are interested, you can actually register for that. So uh, we are soon, just within 2 to 3 days, we are going to release the National Space Nova Asteroid Search Campaign in collaboration with ISC, which is supported by NASA. And if you guys are interested, you can form a team of four and participate in the same. And what really happens is we are going to teach you 5 easy steps through which you can analyze the various data which you have gained through the telescopes. And through this, you can identify the asteroids on the near Earth asteroids or the main belt asteroids, and then send the report back to the ISC, which, if they confirm, marks your discovery. And the first original discovery is called as a preliminary discovery. And then it takes at least 1 year to, become a provisional one. What that means is that when the first time you discover an asteroid, it is an original discovery of an asteroid. Congratulations for that. But what really happens is we need to have a proper track of its orbit. If we don't have a proper track of its orbit, then that asteroid is lost. So even though you discovered an asteroid, it's lost, right? So what really happens is after your first discovery, these guys, the ISC guys, they need to again respot it in the sky within some 7 to 8 days. And if they are able to do that, your discovery will become a provisional one. And that is very hard. There are people whom I know who have 400 preliminary discoveries of asteroids, but zero provisional discoveries because they all got lost. Okay, so this is a little bit about the program. And if you guys are interested, just stay tuned to our social media pages, and very soon, within 2 to 3 days, we are going to release the campaign and you guys can participate. And it doesn't require any high level knowledge. Trust me, guys, even school students can participate in the same. And you guys are undergraduates, so you guys can definitely crack it.
Yes, sir. One of our friends asked that he wants the best advice for upcoming entrepreneurs, and we face some lows, ups and downs during the startup. So how you deal with it?
So, guys, that's what the session was about. Be solution oriented, right? That's the thing which I was continuously focusing on. So, when like Ashwani, she approached me to speak on stuff related to entrepreneurship. So I knew there are many other people who would talk about very technical stuff, all those funding and other stuff. But this is something which no one really talks about. That what are the mindset or the culture which you need to develop in your organization and in yourself under your mind palace to actually deal with it. So be solution oriented. Even if you are facing a crisis or you are sad for some time, have that positive optimism and know that better stuff will come. So instead of crying and sitting over stuff and complaining, just do something about it. And that's what entrepreneurs do, right? They do feel anxious, they do feel sad sometimes, but at the end they are solution oriented. They focus on the solution and they try to develop that, right? So be solution oriented.
Yes, sir. So one more question, that if we have multiple ideas and then we focus on all of them together, or how how we can choose one out of them, because
Okay.
we are very
Yeah.
curious that which one will work or which will not.
So, guys, I this is a question which I can actually relate to, but because I have a diary, and you guys know that diary are like some 100 to 200 pages fat, and in that diary, in each and every line, I have an idea which could be a next, a great business or a great company in future. So it consists of literally more than 100 startup ideas. And if I sit down here just peacefully, you throw me a problem, you throw me a social problem, and I can give you solutions for that, right? And that's if you, even if you go to my LinkedIn profile now, that's the first skill which I write, that I am solution oriented. So I get a lot of business ideas, but I'm not pursuing all of them. The reason is you need to find that one idea which you can actually start with, which you can actually pursue. And how to find that is to actually try each one of them or just get into the industry. So, you might be knowing about Mr. Ankur Warigu. He is a great entrepreneur and he has shared an ICF framework. So what that means is that before choosing or working in an industry and trying to have a specialization, you need to decide what industry you want to work in, what sort of company you want to work with, and then what sort of field you want to proceed with, right? So to decide which idea you want to pursue, first just think about the industry, that whether that industry is something which you would, relate with and you would pursue it forever. Like for example, many of you might love coding, but it might happen that after coding for next 5 to 10 years you might just get frustrated. Like, trust me, I used to be one of the person who used to love coding. I still love, but I know that I cannot do it for my life, right? So try to understand whether the industry is right for you, like which you might be having multiple ideas. So which industry is actually right for you, right? Then think about the type of the company which you want to build, the culture and stuff, right? And try them out. So suppose you build a company, you try to do a startup. If you are able to pursue it, well and good. If not, then try some other stuff. Or the more simpler and cheaper method would be to go and do internships in similar startups. So, for example, if I want to tomorrow build a space startup, some another, or I'm already building a space startup. Let me take some other example. Suppose I want to build a startup in IoT and embedded systems. So I will first go and do an internship in companies who are working on these IoT and embedded systems and see whether that's something which I really love, whether that excites me, whether that is something which I would love to pursue. So try to do that, try to gain some experience, try to understand the industry, the companies, and your specializations, and then proceed with them.
Yes, sir. One more question. One of the students asked that, sir, how to connect through LinkedIn, as we can't just randomly ping somebody. How to find them as our mentor?
Okay. What's the name of the person, by the way?
Parishya.
So Parisha or whatever your name is, just post your LinkedIn link, like your profile link of your LinkedIn on the comment section. I am going to directly ping you randomly. Trust me. So you can do that. Don't think about you cannot ping anyone randomly. When I first started on LinkedIn, I started in 10th standard. By the way, and I didn't have any idea like why this LinkedIn even exists. I thought it is just another social media platform like Facebook, and I used to send connection requests to literally anyone.
Yes, sir. The name is Abhijit Singh.
Okay, Abhijit. Okay, cool, Abhijit. So do post your profile link. So whoever who is watching this live right now, guys, after this live, go and send Abhijit a request and connect with Abhijit, right? Even I'm going to connect with you, Abhijit, right? So post your LinkedIn profile there, and trust me, you can just directly go and send anybody a connection request. And trust me, even if they don't accept, some of them will definitely accept. And if there is a person whom you definitely want to connect with, then try to know about that person. Open his profile, go through that person's activities, see what are their interests, what are their hobbies and stuff like that. Try to understand their you know life vision or the things which they are working for, and then send them a personalized message while sending a request. Tell them ki, hey there, for example, suppose if Abhijit, I'm sending a request to you. So I will go through your various activities and I see, oh, you're a student of NIT Raipur and you're part of Innovation Cell. So I would know ki you are very much interested in entrepreneurship. You have attended my session. So you might also be interested in the field of space sciences. So I would, while sending a request to you, I would say ki, hey Abhijit, I have went through your activities and I've been following you for quite a time right now. And I would love to know more about your interests and hobbies. I already appreciate your various activities in the field of entrepreneurship, and I would love to know more about your life vision. So let's schedule a call for the same. And that person will definitely do that. Trust me, guys. If you would ask people to share their life vision and share their story, they are never going to say no. They will definitely do that. So that is how you connect. If you definitely want to connect with that person, send them a personalized message. And if you just want to increase your connections and maybe churn them out afterwards, then just directly ping anyone. I literally used to do that.
So it was very grateful for us to talk to you, and it was very nice talking to you, sir. And I am sure
Thank
that
you so much.
your experience has inspired a lot of our guests today. So this brings to an end to our seminar today. And
Thank you so much, Pratik. Thank you so much
thank you
for
so much,
having me.
sir. And thank you everyone for joining. And stay tuned with us for more sessions like this.